very soon. To be kidnapped, how to place bounty on his head for giving them to us. Though they are past and gone, but their memories lives on forever. What we do in life echoes in history, and what our leaders of past did in life echoes in history and continue to sing and continue to embolden us and to remind us the reason why we must continue. We see that Nigerian government are already afraid of any upcoming protest. But we need to tell them that they should be ready because it will happen, and it will happen very, very soon. Because those that understand the reason of freedom will fight for that freedom. And those that care less will prefer to remain as cowards while the terrorists will invade their communities and cut off heads. And they will continue to wallow in their stupidity and cry and cry and cry. I salute all Biafrans. And I salute our leaders that are in prison. Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi NNAMDI KANU. They are all in prison for all of us because of Biafra. We pray for God to continue to embolden them, strengthen them, and give them all they need to stand on this very cause to the very end. To our BDF, we salute all of you. Without all of you, all this bombing and taking over of communities in northern parts and middle belt of Nigeria would have happened in Biafra land. And our own case would have been worse because we don't have leaders that have brain cells in their head that is working. All the things in their brain is damaged. It is only money, how to betray, how to sign paper and bring more terrorists so that they will get paid, how to sign document for man Simon Ekpa to be kidnapped, how to place bounty on his head, how to place bounty on the head of Mazi NNAMDI KANU, how to kill, how to maim, how to destroy all Biafrans. That is the only thing that the governors we have and knows how to do best, and the leaders that we have. They know no other thing. So without our BDF, it would have been hell for the Biafran people. It would have been hell for the Biafran people without our BDF. So we salute our BDF for what they are doing and what they will continue to do. Our BDF commanders and generals are all intact. They are waxing strong and they are doing the needful. Those that announce that they have eliminated all of them, let them continue to wallow in stupidity. You can imagine the Nigerian government coming out in the media to give a press briefing, and they say Nigerian defense is giving a press briefing that they call them, they say they have eliminated General Argento, they have eliminated General Butus. Oh my God. If Nigeria can lie by standing up without mincing words and show their face while they are reading the script, they're not even ashamed. They're not ashamed to say, what if, as they are reading the script now, Gento just grant a press briefing from the defense headquarters of Biafra? Or what if Butuso just grant a press briefing? And all of you have heard our generals speak and lived on since after them. So they can continue to wallow in their stupidity. It's none of our business. But what must happen, must happen. Salute everyone. I salute our APM, and I salute the entire cabinet of BRGIE and all Biafrans who are doing the needful by supporting financially and otherwise. Please intensify your support because 2026 is very challenging and we have a lot of things to do. As our challenge increases, so is our responsibilities. So those that have been sitting on the fence for years, come down from the fence because sitting on the fence will only prone you to be picked by stray bullets. Stray bullets that are flying can easily pick people that are on the fence seated. But if you're down to join forces with those that are fighting, you will not be that person on the fence that the stray bullet will pick out. So come down and join forces and let us do this once and for all. Because the zoo is on the suicidal slide and it is happening. Keep your personal ego aside and your disagreement aside. It is time to come and do what you have yearned for many years now. Let's do it and then finish what we've started. I salute everyone and thank you all for joining. As you join, please remember to share, so that others can come in. All right. If you don't join the protest today, if you're not ready to protest today, and you're not ready to protest tomorrow, you're not ready to protest any longer, then just be ready to see that the template that was implemented in Iran will be implemented in your Nigeria. So just get ready. Because what is happening in Iran today, that has engulfed Iran for many years, now the Iranians are trying to shake it off. And it's very late. You know, when they say it is too late to claim, it's too late to claim to the point, because this thing has been on for many years and they've turned deaf ears to it. They've tried to do as if it is not very important. But it has eaten them up, eaten them up, eaten them up, eaten them up to the point that they now say enough is enough. But now that they are saying enough is enough, these people have implemented all their caliphate in the defense, so in the security, so in the police, so in the Air Force, the Navy, in the power sector, even in educational sector, religious sector, everywhere. It's the same thing that Nigerian government have taken time to do since when you heard that they did the amendment of 1999 Constitution. That was when they brought in the Sharia law into the Constitution. And all of you have just been shying away from it. You don't pay attention to it, you don't take it serious. But that Sharia law in the Nigerian Constitution is what gave the lead and the embodiment to these terrorists. For one set of people in Nigeria to have the power, the monopoly in their hands, to now go village to village, assemble people and then slaughter them, cut off heads of babies, women, and children without anybody doing anything about it. Why? Because they have institutionalized the thing inside their constitution. Who allowed it to happen? They made way for it, they paved way for it. While our useless governors in the south are shouting, let us restructure Nigeria, these terrorists in power, the caliphate, already restructured Nigeria by putting a tool that will be useful for them when they want to strike. And they have been using it to strike. Since they have been using it to strike, what have you done? Nothing. You've not done anything. Now, let us read something. What we are going to read here now is how UN gave this Sharia and Jihad power inside the United Nations Council. I want to ask you a question. If the United Nations Council or Committee have given this kind of power to Christianity, or if they have given this kind of power to the Judaism, or if they have given this kind of power to the Buddhists, or if they have given this kind of power to the traditional religion, or if they have given this kind of power to the kind of worshipping settings that the Chinese people use, or some of the Asian countries, why will United Nations sign memorandum of understanding integrating Islamic Jihad Sharia law ethics into the United Nations Council and giving them the power to now implement Sharia and Jihad? Are you people understanding what is happening? Do you now see the root of all the problems that people are having? When United Nations Secretary Antonio Guterres visited Nigeria in 2020 or thereabout, 2022, and said he is endorsing Nigerian government with the process of radicalization and reintegration of repentant Boko Haram terrorists into the Nigerian military formations. As at then, they were saying reintegration into the community. They did not make you to understand that the reintegration goes wide into the military formations of Nigeria. They told you it is reintegration into the community. United Nations Secretary went to Nigeria to say so. This now gave the lead to the Nigerian army to now recruit Boko Haram terrorists and put inside the Nigerian army, the Air Force, the Navy, the police, and everything. Today, they are part and parcel of the military formation of Nigeria. Before we go on to read the scandalous act of United Nations, let us read what came out from the Nigerian soldiers. They say exclusive. This is a reportage from Sahara Reporters. Nigerian soldiers in Northeast demand end to repentant terrorist integration. Link deadly attacks to leaks. They say the soldier further alleged that recent attacks on troops were linked to leaked operational details, adding that most of the recent attacks were due to the leaked information of a strategy by these repentant terrorists, Boko Haram, who are inside their military formations. So Nigerian soldiers battling Boko Haram insurgents in the Northeast have renewed calls on military authorities and all levels of government to halt the integration of so-called repentant terrorists into the security services, alleging that the policy has caused insider leaks and deadly attacks. A military source who spoke to Sahara Reporters said frontline troops have begun a fresh appeal to their superiors, warning that the continued absorption of former insurgents is compromising operations. According to the source, in our camps now, we soldiers don't trust these former Boko Haram members. In fact, we have started distancing ourselves from them. They have their different places they sleep, the source said. The source continued, we discovered recently that our operation and movement are being leaked to Boko Haram fighters, and nobody will do that if not those repentant terrorists with us inside the barracks or in the camp. They are the ones selling us out now. This is why soldiers are appealing to the top commanders to stop forcing us to work with these people. We don't trust them. The soldier further alleged that recent attacks on troops were linked to leaked operational details, adding that most of the recent attacks, like a recent report published by Sahara Reporters, were due to the leaked information of a strategy by these repentant terrorists to Boko Haram. Last week, Sahara Reporters reported that no fewer than 9 Nigerian soldiers were confirmed killed following an explosion involving improvised explosive devices near Gubbio in Borno State. A top military source provided details of the incident to Sahara reporters during an exclusive interview. The military source confirmed that investigation revealed that the explosives were planted by Boko Haram. The source explained that the soldiers were traveling from Maiduguri town when the deadly incident occurred. According to the source, while coming from Maiduguri town on Saturday, they stopped at one camp on the road in order for them to continue their journey on Sunday. Past opposition to terrorist integration. In October 2025, some soldiers in northeastern Nigeria accused the government-backed repentant insurgents of leaking critical military strategies, positions, and weapon details to their former commanders. The soldiers, who are currently serving in multiple bases across the Northeast, described the policy of integrating Boko Haram terrorists into military operations as a deadly mistake that continues to cost lives. One of the personnel told Sarah reporters that the so-called repentant fighters routinely briefed terrorist leaders about Nigerian army movement and plans before major attacks. So, Boko Haram attack any military camp in the Northeast. They already know how we operate. These repentant fighters tell them everything, the soldiers said during an interview in 2025. They expose how many men we deploy at the gate or entrance, the kind of weapons we carry, even the daily routine in the camp. He added that the leaks had made many soldiers extremely vulnerable. They tell Boko Haram that every evening between 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., all soldiers must return to camp for what we call stand to, the period when we observe enemy movement. They also tell them where our armory is located and where we keep rifles, GMPGs, RPGs, PKTs, and hand grenade and bombs, the source said. According to the soldier, the sabotage also extends to logistics and supplies. They even tell them where our food stores is so that when Boko Haram attacks, they can cut away our food to starve us. Because we load food monthly, they know the exact time supplies arrive, the source said. The source said that without insider information from these repentant elements, most Boko Haram attacks will not be successful. If the terrorists fail to get this information, they might not be succeeding or even come back alive. But once they know our strength and routine, they strike with precision, the source said. This revelation comes amid growing tension within the Nigerian army over what soldiers describe as a dangerous allegiance between troops and ex-insurgents disguised as repentant fighters, integrated into the military formation by the Nigerian government. This is what it has become. And if you have your brother still serving in this useless thing they call Nigerian army, call them to go home. Because it's either the terrorists will eliminate them or the terrorists will eliminate them while in the battlefield, or they will eliminate them while they are sleeping in the camp. Send the message. So, this is what the Nigerian military formations is like now, mixed up with Boko Haram terrorists and those that their parents actually saw them go and fill form and recruit and say they are going to join Nigeria military formations, not knowing that you're then going to go and mix up with the Boko Haram terrorists. And that is why you don't know who is the real Nigerian person that went to join Nigerian army and the terrorists of Boko Haram, because they are one and the same together. They will influence them, and everything that is happening to one will happen to the other. But one will be on the advantage because that one is a spy working to sabotage the rest of this one. Now, this is what is happening in Nigerian army. Now, how did it get to this point? They started by putting them into the constitution, right? Okay. They're putting Sharia and Jihad into the constitution. Now, let us go to the UN National Assembly or the Security Council. It's a political and peace building affairs. And this is reading New York, 24 July 2025. So UN and OIC cooperation critical to advancing peace and stability. ASG Kiari tells Security Council. Nigeria, this man is telling you that for United Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to have a memorandum of understanding and to bring them into the Security Council, the UN Security Council, that it is needed so that they will now be the ones to decide and do things and run show. This is why you now see that Donald Trump is pulling out America out of many of these bodies and corporations in the UN, because the last meeting I watched, there was one last meeting I watched. I saw that Sierra Leone representative was the president of the Security Council. I watched another one. It was a Somalia representative that was the president of the Security Council. I was asking myself, I said, is it Somalia that now sit at the Security Council? And what the person was doing was, he aided the Security Council as the president that day to criticize who? America. And criticize Israel for making a bold step in recognizing Somaliland. Then the person that sits in the Security Council that day to chair the event is a Somalia. Hey! When you now see a Somalia, you now see a Sierra Leone, or you now see a Nigerian, or you now see somebody from Sierra Leone or Ghana or Senegal or Mali seated on the Security Council to be the president of the Security Council. How can a puppet who cannot save his babies, women, and children be heading a Security Council meeting? What is he going to decide? Is he going to decide ways and manners of how America, who has all the weapons, who manufactures the weapons, or Israel, who manufactures the weapons and know what to use on human and not to use? Are they going to be the one to preside and to decide, or to head the meeting, to go in a way that at the end of the day they take a resolution that this is what, if they are to say, let us make use of this weapon? Is there any weapon that Somalia they produce? Is there any weapon that Sierra Leone they produce or Nigeria they produce? Is there any weapon that Guinea-Bissau is producing? You bring a puppet, you put to sit down as the chairman or president of Security Council, so that whatever script that UK is writing and giving to them, they will read. Whatever script China is writing and giving to them, they will read. Whatever script Russia is reading and giving to them, they will read. No wonder on the 18th of September 2025, when they held the Security Council and they voted for whether one world power, one world nonsense, all of them in the Security Council of 14 countries voted yes. Only America voted no, because they all knew what they had planned. Only America voted no. So how will somebody that does not know how to secure their babies, women, and children, or to take care of their own borders, be the one to be seated as president of the Security Council in the UN Assembly? Now, let me read what is here so that everybody can follow me. UN and OIC cooperation critical to advancing peace and stability. ASG, Care tells Security Council. This is how you have seen that Sharia and Jihad have expanded and had upper hand in Africa, Asia, Middle East, and everywhere. That even Iranian dictator now is massacring people and nobody can touch them except America. Because the UN empowered the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The United Nations, just like Nigerian government, carried Sharia and Jihad and put inside the constitution. The same thing the United Nations carried Sharia and Jihad and put inside the United Nations Security Council Charter. Bring them in and then give them power of autonomy. So because if you sit back to be asking, you say, when did all these things start and how did it come to be? You have to go and start checking something. Okay, let me read. New York, dated 24 July 2025. Mr. President, members of the Security Council, I thank you for the opportunity to address the Council on the long-standing cooperation between the United Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, in maintaining international peace and security. Now, the opportunity to address the Council on the long-standing cooperation between the United Nations Security Council and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in maintaining international peace and security. Can anybody read out any publication like this for me, where you now hear that there is a long-standing cooperation between the United Nations Security Council and Christianity? Can you read another one where you see that there is a long-standing security cooperation between the Jewish community and United Nations? Can you see one that says about Buddhism and United Nations? Can you see one that says Hindus and United Nations? Can you see the one that called, please, anyone can come and let us know other names of other religions according to the race and ethnicities so that we know. So what is it and why is it powerful that they must bring Islamic Jihad to come and give them power inside the United Nations Security Council? So, at a time of growing geopolitical complexity, cooperation with regional and sub-regional organizations, such as the OIC, remains indispensable. You see, that means before this time, they have already expanded. They are now telling you that to make OIC, Sharia and Jihad to be part and parcel of the UN Security Council, it is very, very important now. Guided by Chapter 13 of the Charter, such cooperation is a key priority of the Secretary General and an important part of implementing the pact for the future. Listen very well. The Organization for Islamic Cooperation brings together, the Organization for Islamic Cooperation brings together 57 member states and represent a vital political, economic, cultural, and religious constituency. Its voice carries considerable weight in some of the world's conflict-affected situations, just like they have used their voice to cause the massacre of Israelis in October 7. And they now took over Hamas and killed the indigenous people of Hamas. Are you seeing what is going on there? Chai. A voice carries considerable weight in some of the world's conflict-affected situations, just like what they are doing in Iran, just like how they have conquered Nigeria now. The United Nations values this partnership not only as a matter of institutional cooperation, but as an essential component of our effort to promote durable peace, inclusive governance, and respect for international and human rights law. They are calling respect for international and human rights law. I want to ask, does cutting off heads of babies, women, and children, raping women, raping men, raping animals, is it part of the human rights law and international law and respect? Is it part of the inclusive governance and respect for international and human rights law, which these terrorist people practice? Is it part of it? The answer is no. But they are playing double standard here because it is not about all this grammar you see them speak here. It is all about the agenda of jihad and Sharia, which they have come to implement. The United Nations OIC cooperation spans a broad range of country-specific and thematic areas. The biennial UN OIC General Cooperation Meeting, mandated by the General Assembly, serves as a vital platform, bringing together senior representatives of our two organizations. Did you hear that? To take stock of our cooperation and discuss ways to enhance it strategically. They have to bring members of the UN and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to take stock of cooperation and discuss how they will destroy the world, how they will destroy America, how they will destroy Israel, how they will destroy Nigeria, how they will destroy any way that they see that will stand as a threat against jihad and Syria. So they have to start penetrating from UN. Is it the exact thing that you see that happened in Nigerian constitution? They have to go to the constitution first and implant the Sharia and jihad in the constitution so that they will now have the power when they start cutting off your heads. They will tell you they are members of the UN Security Council. They will sit down. They will tell you they have memorandum of understanding. They sit down to be reading for you. Are you getting the point? That is why it is hard for some of you now to fight the terrorists back in Nigeria, because you see that when you kill the terrorists coming to kill your babies, rape your families, Nigerian government will now arrest you and lock you up and pronounce you death sentence by hanging. Because why? You have defended yourself against the terrorists. They have given these terrorists power to carry out this jihad inside Nigerian constitution. So that is why when they now take you to court, the Nigerian judge will pronounce death by hanging to you that defended yourself against the terrorist that is using Sharia law that they put inside the constitution to kill you. And they went as far as implementing and drafting and drawing this into the United Nations Security Council as well. In the context of today's complex geopolitical landscape and challenging financial environment, this meeting assumes increased relevance and urgency. Mr. President, in the Middle East, the United Nations and the OIC have long shared common objectives in seeking a lasting and comprehensive resolution to the question of Palestine. Most recently, the United Nations and the OIC organized the annual joint conference on the question of Jerusalem. Did you see how these people? Did you see how United Nations came into a memorandum of understanding and they even held a meeting against the question of Jerusalem? Did you see how far they went? Hey, let me read it again. Most recently, the United Nations and the OIC organized the annual joint conference on the question of Jerusalem. They held it in Dakar on 9th July of 2025. The United Nations also appreciates the OIC and the League of Arab States for endorsing the Recovery and Reconstruction Plan for Gaza through their Joint Ministerial Committee. This plan reinforced the collective push for a just and comprehensive solution rooted in relevant United Nations resolutions. The upcoming ministerial meeting to support the two-state solution, the two-state solution, co-chaired by France and Saudi Arabia, is key to highlighting international consensus around these goals and reaffirming the principles sustaining the two-state solution. This was in the case of Hamas and Israel, when they wanted to give Hamas terrorists a state of recognition, and we'll call it Palestine. In Lebanon, the United Nations maintained regular engagement with the OIC in support of the country's stability and recent regional tension. The OIC consistent political backing for Lebanon has proven particularly valuable. In Afghanistan, the OIC is a key partner in our effort for a coherent and structured engagement with the de facto authorities in the framework of the UN-convened Doha process. The OIC has also played an important role in supporting the human rights of Afghan women and girls through dialogue with the de facto authorities, drawing on its unique position as the collective and credible voice of the Muslim world. The OIC is also a vital leading voice in support of the Rohingya, highlighting the need to address the root causes of their displacement and to create coordinations for their safe, voluntary, dignified, and sustainable return to Myanmar, including the right of citizenship. The United Nations welcomes the continued coordination between the Special Envoy of the Secretary General on Myanmar and the OIC in pursuit of shared objectives. In Sudan, after more than 2 years of relentless fighting, the warring parties continue to pursue military gains. The OIC support to international mediation efforts, including those personal envoy Lamamra, remain highly valuable as efforts continue to find a resolution that will prevent further disaster and return Sudan to the path of peace. The United Nations welcomes that the ceasefire between Israel and Iran continues to hold. All international actors should speak with one voice in impressing upon the two countries to adhere to the ceasefire. The OIC resolution on Iran, made at the 51st session of its Council of Ministers last month in Istanbul, to establish an open-ended ministerial contact group on de-escalation to work towards a peaceful settlement of the conflict, is a valuable contribution to international and UN efforts in this regard. Across contexts such as the Sahel, Syria, and Yemen, OIC member states have lent important support to UN efforts to advance peace and security. Mr. President, make una listen to the main issue here. Mr. President, we appreciate the OIC cooperation in addressing global challenges that transcend borders, as Islamophobia continues to affect far too many people around the world and demands attention. We appreciate the leading role in the OIC plays in confronting the rise of Islamophobia and all forms of religious intolerance. The United Nations stands against all forms of hatred and discrimination, and firmly believes that diversity in all its forms only makes society stronger. The Secretary General's recent appointment of Mr. Michael Moratinos as Special Envoy to combat Islamophobia reflects the United Nations' determination to intensify efforts on this important issue in cooperation with the OIC and other partners. But we did not hear the United Nations Secretary appoint another person to head a special convoy to combat Christian genocide. We only heard them elect somebody a special envoy to combat Islamophobia. Do you see the double standards of UN? The United Nations and the OIC also cooperate on electoral matters through their long-standing and active partnership in this area. We have jointly implemented several capacity development initiatives in recent years. These have included co-organizing trainings on election observation and promoting women's participation in electoral and political processes for OIC member states. Our partnership has also included staff exchange programs aimed at strengthening cooperation and sharing experience and good practices on electoral matters. Our joint effort in countering terrorism, make una listen, this is where the big bomb is. Our joint effort in countering terrorism and preventing violent extremism continue to develop. Just imagine the people that they say they are joining effort to counter terrorism and preventing violent extremism. The people that are actually the terrorists are telling you that they are joining efforts to counter terrorism. Hey! L1FE. Make I read them again. Our joint effort in countering terrorism and preventing violent extremism continue to develop. Following the signing of a memorandum of understanding in March 2024, the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation have advanced right-based approaches through technical assistance, parliamentary engagement, and strategic dialogue. Oh my God. Do you now see how these Sharia people and Jihad people have information and can strike from any country? Do you now get the point? Ah, okay. United Nations say they are giving them joint efforts to work as Security Council. What is different from what I just read here now and what was done in Nigeria when they said Nigerian government is recruiting Meyeti Allah to be part of the security forces to work with Nigerian Army, Air Force, Navy, and police in combating insecurity? What is different from here? See, when you read one from United Nations Council, you see it implemented in Nigeria. It transcends down to Nigeria. What is it actually happening? They brought these same people to form Ebubagu under Buhari. The same playbook they brought to form Ebubagu under Buhari. What was it for? To come in and be reducing you in numbers slowly. So that when you make move for Biafra, they will use those group that has been integrated with their terrorists to stop you and block you left, right, center. Let me read this thing again. Our joint effort in countering terrorism and preventing extremism continue to develop. Following the signing of a memorandum of understanding in March 2024, the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation have advanced right-based approaches through technical assistance, parliamentary engagement, and strategic dialogue. Hey! L1FE, Boko Haram, Islamic Jihadist terrorists. They are the ones being part and parcel of United Nations Security Council. They are the ones sharing intelligence. The main terrorists are the ones telling you they are countering and fighting terrorism. They are developing a plan. Hey! That is why all the genocide happening in Nigeria, United Nations will turn blind eyes to it. They will not talk about it, but they will come there to be talking about Hamas. They come there to talk about Israel. They come there to talk about Palestinian states. Mr. President, in a world beset by interconnected challenges that continue to grow and multiply, we must pursue every advantage and leverage every instrument we have at our disposal to deliver meaningful and lasting impact, consistent with our shared commitment to peace and security. Imagine. By joining forces, chai, by joining forces with Jihad and Sharia, the United Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation are helping to reinvigorate multilateralism and restore trust in our institutions as we move forward with the implementation of the Pact for the Future. Hi! The United Nations Organization of Islamic Cooperation Partnership will remain critical to diffuse tensions, advance sustainable peace, reinforce multilateral norms and principles, and promote equitable and sustainable development. Hi! Oh my God. These are people that preaches that Islam must conquer the world, that Islam must conquer America, that America must be totally conquered and become Islamic country. And then, the United Nations Security Council is now telling you that they are coming into a memorandum of understanding with the Islamic terrorist organizations. They'll be sharing intelligence, they'll be rubbing minds together. And they signed memorandum of understanding. Do you now understand why Donald Trump is pulling America out of many of the pacts from United Nations? Because United Nations has become a body that is aiding Islamic Jihad and Sharia. That is what it has become. So it is on this very note that you see that many Christians that defend themselves against the terrorists that cut off the heads of their babies, women, and children, they will now detain them. Like recently, we saw Deacon Donnelly. We saw Zidane. Solomon Zidane is one of those that tried to defend himself, just like Sunday Jackson. And then Nigerian government arrested Solomon Zidane and said they must hang him to death because of defending himself against the terrorists that came to kill and rape his people. And it is just stop there. The world are listening, and Nigerians are keeping quiet. And you don't see them hit the streets. You think that when it is done with Solomon, that you will not be the next person? You will be the next person. When it is done with NNAMDI KANU, when it is done with Biafra people, when it is done with Sunday Jackson, you will be the next person. When it was done with Deborah Samuel, has there not been more other people since then? That's why we tell you that the survivors of today are victims of tomorrow in Nigeria. That's why we are taking time to remind some of you all these things. That you need to wake up and start your protest now. Because you protest, you win. You don't protest, the Boko Haram terrorists, they will say kill you. And nobody will say anything about it. Why? Because they have already given them the go-ahead. They've given them the license. Did you see how far they went in giving them the license? They gave them this license from United Nations Security Council. The Nigerian government also gave them the license in the Nigerian Constitution. So you are locked in between. Now, the Iranians are protesting. And when the Iranians started the protest, they got the attention of Donald Trump. Donald Trump said they should continue. He's paying attention. Now, they have killed thousands of Iranians, according to the report. The Iranian government have shut down electricity and internet. Yesterday, I was explaining something. They own the country and they have mounted control of the power sector, that is the electricity plant. So even if Elon Musk mounts the largest and the biggest Starlink satellite network to supply free internet to Iran for the next 3 months, without you having power supply to charge your phone, to put on your television, to put on your laptop, or to charge it, or to even charge your power bank, there is no how you can use the internet that is given to you free of charge. Because the terrorist regime of Iran took time to take control of the electrical power plant, to take control of the military formations, to take control of the constitution, to take control of the judiciary, to take control of the executive, to take control of all branches and all arms of government. Before you see this thing getting to the neck of the Iranian people now that they say they cannot bear it anymore, enough is enough, because they have beared the brunt for many years. So while you continue to give Nigeria and these jihadis and terrorist people the time frame to advance and to gain more momentum and to destroy more and to dig in more and to garner more power, it is getting too late. Now that America is swinging into action on seeing that Iran are protesting, and Iranians did not see America come and bomb terrorists like on the 25th of December that they bombed in Nigeria before they started off. They've had it to their neck before now. The last time America bombed Iran, I think that was their nuclear power plant, which they did a joint operation with Israel. But America has come to bomb Nigeria terrorists that kidnaps people and kill you, and you pay ransom every day. And that was a Christmas gift on the 25th of December. Up till now, we don't see you guys hit the streets of Nigeria. But Iranians did not see Donald Trump do the same for them on the 25th. But they are already on the street looking for their freedom. And that alone now has emboldened Donald Trump to see that these people need freedom and they are ready for freedom. And they want it by fire, by force. And he's giving them assurance that help is on the way, that they should hold the stand. They should hold it on. They should not slack. That help is on the way. And it is happening. It is coming. It is coming. Now, what you all prefer to do is to be watching BB Niger, watching Nollywood movies, playing the new music of Davido and Flavor and P-Square and every musician in Nigeria, and watching Nigerian football in African Cup of Nations. The terrorists don't go to watch the football. While you are busy looking for football to watch, they are advancing in your forest. They are planning of where to attack the next. And now there is a message which they gave as a threat warning to the people of Oyo State that they are coming to invade Oyo State starting from 20th of January. And I have not seen you people hit the streets of Nigeria. I've not also seen people hit the street of Nigeria to even say thank you to Donald Trump. You know, at times I say, Donald Trump, you need to allow these people in Nigeria to be massacred because they are ungrateful people. They don't want freedom. Yes, because the same Donald Trump that no other country citizens have criticized worst is the one helping the Nigerian people that have criticized Donald Trump like shit. They are very ready to pick every nonsense write-up and interpretation that their government of the day portrays to them. How can there be evidence of genocide? And as we tell it to the US Congress, they see it. They interview live witnesses, victims, families, and they see raw videos. And then the foreign minister of Nigeria came to America to sit down and lie and call American president a liar that is working on false narrative and false figures that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. And all of you follow suit. Oh, Donald Trump, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. It is Biafra people that are giving you fake news. Oh. When the US officials then went to Nigeria and unveiled that over 600,000 people are in IDP camps in Benue State, that they should tell us what necessitated them to land in IDP camps. Who sent them out of their lands? Who take over their land? Nigerian government up to today cannot say anything again. And the Mumu citizens that were defending and attacking Donald Trump and attacking BRGIE, they can't say anything now. That is why they are shamed. They shame them to even come out to say, Donald Trump, thank you. So even if Donald Trump comes back to bomb the next set of terrorists, I think it will not do them any good. I would rather say Donald Trump should keep their weapons, their taxpayers' money of America, and use it to kill terrorists for those that cares, those that values. Because Nigerians don't value what he is doing for them. Take it to the Iranian citizens. Go and kill the terrorists there for them. Because those Iranian citizens appreciate you. Even before or without you going, they have already started appreciating you and they are calling on you to come because they know what you can deliver. But Nigerians, you did the first one for them. What did you get back in return? Prejudice, propaganda, blackmail, and slander. You did not get anything good like appreciation. You are all supposed to be hitting the street. You hear that terrorist is giving you quick notice in your own land or your state that they are coming to kill you. I've not seen any action. I've not seen any plan of protest. And then today, we hear that the terrorists are evicting people from Sokoto community. And I want all of you to understand something. For the terrorists to have the power to evict people from Sokoto community in Sokoto State, in Sokoto State, though, then we hear that the seat of the caliphate is in Sokoto. The Sultan of Sokoto is in Sokoto. All the sultans and the Ogakpatakpata of the Sharia and Jihad, they are all in Sokoto. The first bomb that was dropped on the terrorists by America was dropped in Sokoto because that is the headquarters. Where the bomb was dropped is some people downplayed what actually happened because Nigerian government deceived all of you with wrong reportage. The place where American government dropped that bomb was the headquarters of the terrorists, when they will finish having their meeting with Sultan of Sokoto and all their imams, that is the next headquarters before they now dispatch to every other places in the northern part of Nigeria. So before America decided to bomb that place, that is the concentration point. That is where the power point is. And then I am connecting something here for you all now. Since you saw this video, that terrorists have seized the community and they are evacuating people from the community. And they are even giving the people time to pack their things and run out of the community. Have you seen Sultan of Sokoto come to say anything? Sultan of Sokoto should be coming to the media to say, in the same Sokoto that I am inside? Have you seen him come to say anything? Okay. But this is Sokoto, right? Okay. Where is the protest going to start in Nigeria? And when will the protest start? Nigerians, Biafrans, where is the protest and when is the protest going to start in Nigeria? If you are waiting for American government to come and drop another bomb for you, American government will drop another bomb when they see that the terrorists have massacred plenty numbers again. But do you know whether you will be amongst those plenty numbers that they will massacre first before Donald Trump will come? So by the time Donald Trump comes, you are already gone. You're no more alive. Aha! Are you getting the point? Because as you are waiting for Donald Trump to come, you will be the next victim. You don't know whether it is your village, whether it is your community that is going to happen tomorrow. And when Donald Trump come and drop one bomb, destroy maybe 1,000 terrorists like the last time they did, because over 1,000 of them were sunk 1,000 feet in the ground. Some of you saw the videos where they brought out cut off heads of people, terrorists, that they bomb pieces. When the bomb come again, the Tomahawk bomb come again, and then they drop in another place, and 1,000 is sunk. Does Donald Trump Department of War split foot soldiers to come down into your communities, to now come eliminating the dispersed terrorists that will now be running into your communities to come and kill all of you? That is why they say, heaven help those who help themselves. Because Donald Trump is doing a favor to useless people. Yes, I tell you, if not because of the Christians, I just thought that I wish that this northern region of Nigeria, that there were no Christians there. It could be only all of them that used to hit their head on the ground and pray and carry out their book of killing. To say that all of them did it, then there is no Christian there. I could say, Donald Trump, I beg, carry this your weapon. Come and give us as defense mechanism in Biafra land or in the south, so that when they are coming, we use it to wage war. Now, just because of the lives of the innocent Christians that are there, heaven help those who help themselves. As Trump is dropping the weapons on over 1,000 terrorists, how are you moving in to eliminate the remaining terrorist foot soldiers? How? Trump drop weapons on terrorists, and then Nigeria get cold. Look at when Trump dropped weapons on the nuclear plant of Iran. Look at how Iranians were happy. Look at what happened in Venezuela when they captured the narcotic leader. Everybody got happy. But on our own, they say they drop bomb on terrorists. Everybody begin to go to do party. Everywhere get cold. We are calling on all of you to wake up. Yes, wake up, everybody. Prepare and do your protest now. The time to do that your protest is now. That NSAS protest that you people did, that you ran into the Indomie warehouse, you abandoned protest, decided to go and start barbing hair, decided to go and cook Indomie and eat on the streets. All of you now go and start doing P Square music. Started doing show. You started doing show inside protest that you go. Learn from the Venezuelans and the Iranian citizens. When they embark on their protest, do you see them go and cook Indomie to eat? Do you see them go and start playing P Square music or the video music or Yang music? Do you see them go and start doing all that nonsense? Oh, on our own, everything must always be upside down. Some people will go to enter people's shop to go and break and start picking things. Instead of it to focus on government structured properties, you're going to focus on private people properties. You never finish dealing with the government. They go deal with a poor citizen like you. Because many of you had eyes on the properties of those poor people who get shops before. So when protests now came, it was opportunity for you to go and loot phones, opportunity to go and loot mattress, opportunity to go and loot a bag of rice, opportunity to go and loot Indomie, opportunity to go and loot a cooking gas, opportunity to go and loot television, opportunity to go and loot a refrigerator. But you cannot go and loot the refrigerator from government house. You cannot go and set fire on government house. In a popular uprising, which is a revolution, just what you see that is happening in Iran. The Molotov, the Molotov that NNAMDI KANU was advising people that when you are doing a revolution or a popular uprising, you need to make use of a Molotov. Is it not the Molotov that you see the Iranians using? Is it not? Oh my God. Is it not the Molotov that you saw the Iranians using? And it worked for them. That is how they are able to set fire on those government cars. That's how they are able to set fire on those government buildings. Every structure that has to do with the government and the facilities, that is how they are able to light up with the Molotov cocktail. That is a popular uprising. That is a protest. As they shoot you, you don't have guns and bullets to also shoot. Use your own improvised nature and manner to also give them mark. No, some of you want to go back and collect money from Tinubu. Some of you want to go back and collect money from Sanwo-Olu. Some of you want to go back and collect money from Wike. So when others are protesting ahead of Aso Rock, others are protesting ahead of a National Assembly complex, you see that another set will gather to go and meet Tinubu and have a deal and say, how much are you going to pay so that we can go and disrupt the protest? Those are the people that you need to use the Molotov cocktail on them first. When you start seeing them advancing, use the Molotov cocktail on them first before they get down to you. So that whatever weapon they are coming, if they have AK-47 with them and knives, before they even get down, 100 Molotov cocktails have landed on their body. Yeah, the fire will be burning them first. So let's see who fire is burning, as he will come with knives to come and cut your head. Nigerians, Biafrans, where is your protest? Donald Trump is sending help to Iranian protesters because he has seen their formidability. He has seen their consistency. And he's also looking up to see whether Nigerians are ready for freedom. He's looking up to see. But he sees that they are all useless. I believe you now understand how Sharia law entered Nigerian constitution. That it started from United Nations. Oh my God. This is something that will be shocking to people. And say, so, we don't know how many years they have planned this far and gone this far. So if Donald Trump did not win election in America, that election that these people were doing in the Security Council on the 18th of September, where 14 or 15 countries voted yes, only America voted yes. So that means if President Trump was not the president of America, another president that was there, they would have voted yes also. Where everybody forbid now. Where everybody forbid now. So like I said, even if Iran will still put on the power supply again, while the protesters are protesting and why they are killing some of them, they can as well still block the signal of the Starlink. They can still block the signal of the Starlink internet that is coming from the satellite through Elon Musk to the people of Iran. I'm just explaining all this so that everyone should understand that what is happening in Iran is prevalent in Nigeria. How many times have you not heard the national grid in Nigeria is down? And it will happen when the terrorists are rampaging areas. Nigerian government will bring down the grid and then give easy way for the terrorists to carry out their onslaught. Quite disheartening. I salute all Biafrans. It is time for Nigerians and for Biafrans to start their protest now. If you are ready for freedom, this is not time for you to be jumping around Tinubu, jumping around Peter Obi, jumping around Alex Oti, jumping around Ojus Okalu, jumping around Soludo, jumping around Oblezodima. Have you all suddenly forgotten that it is Uzodima and Oti and Soludo and all these criminal terrorist politicians that we have and Ojus Okalu and all of them we have in the Senate and the ministers? Have you all forgotten that they are the people that signed paper to detain NNAMDI KANU, to imprison him and to pronounce death sentence to him? Have you all forgotten? Or you love to see NNAMDI KANU killed, and you forget that the killing of NNAMDI KANU is the killing of you as a Biafran? Wake up, Biafrans. Your freedom is in your own hands. Nigerians, if not even for the Christians that are in part of that northern region, I will care less, because you people are very useless, honestly. You people are very useless, self-centered. Yoruba people are the worst. The Fulanis in the north are even better than Yoruba people. Yoruba people are the people that will take you to the stream and say, let us go and swim. When I can enter the stream together to swim, the water get turbulent. You now see that the Yoruba man is able to walk out before the water get turbulent. And then you're stretching your hand and screaming and say, please help me. You're extending your hand to the Yoruba man to pick you up. He tell you, no, die there. I can't help you. I am going to help only myself and go. And he will even push you into the deeper and deeper part of the stream, where the wave is over turbulent, so that you will be totally swallowed. That is what Yoruba people are very good at. I salute all Biafrans, and I encourage you all, please support Biafra, support the BDF, support the Biafra government in Nigeria. Visit the website and make your donations. Visit your de facto government and remit your support. Please, the floor is open for those that want to speak. You can come and grab the mic and air your opinion, and you can also ask questions. I'm open to questions, and I'll give you the answers that is necessary. The floor is open to everyone. Emeka Samuel, welcome to the speaker. You're free to speak, please.
Hello, good evening, sirs.
Ndewo.
Ekelele m unu niile o.
Ndewo. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Biko, I will speak it in our dialect, Nibo.
Yeah, but everybody will not understand you. If I were to speak my dialect
Okay,
no
no
for
problem.
the past 1 hour now, nobody will understand what I said.
No problem.
So let's communicate so
What
that
I want,
everybody will understand, because we are here to educate
okay.
other people.
Although I didn't know the topic we are deliberating on, but
Just
I
go
will.
ahead with your point. If it is a question, I will address it. If it is something that is out of point, I will also know how to bring it in. Go ahead.
Okay, what I want to address, what I want to ask, because I'm in Nigeria, at Iguacha. So I'm very, very worried in this our struggle. Have you seen? I'm very, very worried that which time and when are we going to be announced as Somali? They are not Somali. So, and I say that I will one day I will be opportunity to speak in a media like this. Then I will ask that question because I'm very, very worried. So if other question comes up, I will still ask.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Mazi Meka. Thank you. Let me address your question. You can mute your mic.
Okay, sir.
It is enthusiastic to see that we long to have what the Somaliland have gotten. And many people were also happy when they saw announcement coming from Somaliland recognition. And it's also noteworthy for us to learn the step-by-step processes that has brought Somaliland to where they are today. Let me go before I will expatiate to take before we get to the stage where Somaliland got recognized is when we have attended all the steps-by-step procedures that the Somaliland people have attended. That is the quick and easiest answer. Then let me go down to expatiate on that answer. Somaliland people broke out of Somalia, I think in late 90s or early 90s, when the war broke out in Somalia, when they saw that Somalia is going to a suicidal slide. Then they came up unanimously, the people of that region that form the Somaliland today now. And then they hold the front and they continue to mount. They started governing themselves and implementing. They went with one voice, one mind, one vision, one goal, and they pursued it. So they've been on for over 35 years in this process. They've established a government, they have control and physical governing presence in their homeland. They are fully in charge. They have their administrations, they have their presidents, they have their army, they have their police, they have their air force. So what was just waiting for them has been a formal recognition from big and important countries that will give them so much of legitimacy, most especially in terms of security architecture. That's why if America recognizes you or Israel, it means you have advanced. You will have all the security apparatus needed to combat the common threat, the terrorists and these jihad and Sharia people. Okay, the same way that Somaliland broke out of Somalia and they have been fighting on to get this far for over 35 years, is the same thing that Ojukwu with Philip Effiong did in 1967 for the Biafran people. The jihad and the Sharia that you see today, that is killing people now, the same playbook that it happened. The main target eliminated then was the Yoruba and the Middle Belt and the Northerners, just like you see that is happening here now. The numbers of Biafrans that were targeted then were few, only those that were living in the North or Middle Belt on or the Yoruba lands. But the main target of the jihad then was Middle Beltans, Yoruba people, and the Northern Christians, which are very close to them, just like you see, those that are living with them there. Because the jihad must stand. It is a caliphate thing that have been on since 1804, when Uthman Dan Fodio brought it to the Sokoto Caliphate. So when it happened, Ojukwu said, oh, this war that is coming, Nigeria is in suicidal slide also, just like it happened in Somalia. Just like the Somalia people now came from their region and decided to come together and gave their voice in one to now have Somaliland. The same way Ojukwu now brought everybody in the whole eastern region and said, we have to fight a common goal to defend ourselves and seclude ourselves or exclude ourselves from these people so that we can be able to have our own home and secure our babies, women, and children. And that takes me back to NNAMDI KANU. NNAMDI KANU said, South Sudan fought for 30 years. Everybody ran away. Because you do know why? The Somaliland people sustain and are successful today that everybody now feels so enthusiastic about their success and their recognition coming out. They stood their ground to fight. The sabotages they had, I don't think it is anything compared to what we had in Ojukwu's reign. If the members of council, members of the governing council of Ojukwu plan to eliminate Ojukwu and Philip Effiong, I don't know if there is any highest plan of taking down a government than that. The two people that stood up, which all of us are supposed to give them the support, members of the governing council of Biafra under Ojukwu, some of them now design a different thing that they need to take down Ojukwu and take down Effiong so that they will return to one Nigeria. So that he will be the one to lead. Hey! Ifejuna said, he is higher in ranking to Ojukwu. Why must it be Ojukwu? That he should be the one to lead. You're not the one that started, you're not the one that brought about. Even if you were the one, but there is a setting now. The person that has the highest voice, the person that everyone are listening to, and is taking the control is Ojukwu. Why can't you just humble yourself? Give him all the support. Whether you have a doctorate degree and Ojukwu doesn't have, whether you have a professor degree and Ojukwu doesn't have, whether you have bachelor in a nonsense that you read in school and then Ojukwu doesn't have, but for the fact that Ojukwu is the one that the anointed has fallen on him and is doing well, why don't you just give support? No. Members of the governing council of Ojukwu decided to sabotage Ojukwu and Philip Effiong. The plan was to eliminate Ojukwu and Philip Effiong. And when they saw that Philip Effiong was a stumble block to eliminate Ojukwu, they now made steps to go and eliminate Philip Effiong first. On planning the execution finished, Rich Day now made they carry him out. God thwarted the plan. And then the whole thing leaked. And then they brought it back to Ojukwu. This is how you saw, and this is why you see that our own has not gone to the point that the Somaliland people are in now. Because this level of sabotage is what has destroyed us so far. But we are not backing down. I just brought that up so that people will understand the step by step that Somaliland people went through and the same steps that we were supposed to have gone through, but our sabotage destroyed many of our process. That war wouldn't have ended the way it was if there were not so much sabotage from our end going to go and stand with the Nigerian government. We would have gotten maximum support, even with Nigerian terrorist government aligning with Britain. At the point, you saw that we were taking down all the Nigerian terrorist soldiers that they brought until they started crying to Britain that they needed the reinforcement, that we are taking them all down. So we were winning the war. But the sabotage from within also contribute to our downslide. So this is what we must understand. Somaliland went through step-by-step processes. When you hear them today, they not sleep yesterday and wake up. It is not 2 years or 3 years. Over 35 years. Thank you, my brother, that came up. And the Biafran Oracle, over to you.
All right, my information minister, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to ask a question, but before the question, I want to say something. Now, it's obvious that the way we see the Biafran Liberation Army as our fighters of our army is the same way every Muslim in Nigeria, both the West and the North, sees these bandits. It is us here that is seeing and calling them terrorists. But over there in the north, over there to all the Muslims, no one is exempted, both both in the north and the west, sees these people as their own freedom fighters. You know, they don't see them as terrorists. They don't see what they are doing as bad. So I'm now calling for protests in this regard. How do you think it will work? Because now the northern Christians are so, they can't do anything with themselves there right now. And then in the west, you can see that they are divided. And the ones that are Christians, wouldn't want to do anything because they believe that their brother Tinubu is in power. Now, in this equation, it is left with the Biafrans only as the people who could possibly do this protest. So are we going to wait for these people who are not serious? Or so I just want to understand, how will it be, this protest of a thing? Just explain more. Thank you, sir.
Mazin, good number. Pick the mic. I'm coming to answer your question, please. Give me 1 minute. Good number. You may say something while I come back.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Biafrans. Yes. Honestly, this is the time we need to do what should be done. Anybody who, all protocol observed, please forgive my manners. We need to do everything to get attention of the leader of the free world, because you see, there's something that will be done. You look as if they are crying more than the bereaved. You know, our own is very, very, our problem is complicated. Imagine a place where those who claim to represent you as governors, they don't speak, they don't talk about what is going on in your land. The media don't report it. You see, that situation is dangerous. People will be dying secretly, but no flame. If you check about where there is war in the world, they will not talk about that place. But the place where there is war, the people are not dying the way people are being killed in our land. So what are we going to do to let that attention for the world to know that people are being killed on a daily basis? You know, that is here what we are talking about. That is where every youth, to me, I have said it, that going to school or opening this thing when your land is under siege, it doesn't make sense to me. But people will see it differently, because it's better to save life first, then later you can go to school. Because if for every youth to relax, stop all those things, then you'll be able to think, know what to do to fight for their freedom. You know, if you're looking about the people who think that their person is the president, why you go to those who are leaving the country to desert through Libya? They are Yoruba people, Yoruba girls, your underage girls, their parent state has been deserted. And let them stay. All I'm saying that let them don't stand on our way. Let them, nobody stand on our way, because this one now, because you can see the hatred is too much. The hatred is too much. I don't know. Because if they say that those people who are doing all those things are not Yoruba, why can't the real Yoruba people are not condemning it? They are not condemning it. Okay? Look at what happened in in Lagos State, where building born, our people there calling for help. Why Lagos State government barricaded that place, refused them to get help until 10 people died. 10 Biafrans died in that building among 3 siblings. You know, the hatred is much. Everything Setima said in audio is happening before our eyes. So you, that's where the shoe nowhere is paining you, you have to do something. We can't continue looking at those who maybe you don't know their plan. Okay, we that don't need Nigeria, Nigeria don't need us. We don't need them. We have to leave. We don't need any of them. We don't need Europe. We don't need the outside. They're the one that need us. We have to leave and fight our way out. Let nobody stand on our way. Or every Biafran you to support Biafra government in exile. You that doing business, that money don't want to use to support your freedom. Bring that one, support those who are there, so that they can do what they need to do for the world to hear our cry. Yes, BDF know what to do. What they need is that money. Bring that money out. That money keeping in Nigeria bank. That money keeping there. The enemy will eat it if you don't want to bring it to support what we're doing. We should, our people, Biafrans in coastal region, everywhere should come together to support BDF. Come under umbrella of BDF. Anybody gathering in any other group, if you know anybody trying to create group or to have a different group, we don't, it's not the same. Since we don't have a government, it's different. But now we have government. That is what is listening to us. That is what the Washington is listening to us. Let us come under brigade umbrella and bring that effort together. Don't scatter the effort. Don't divide the effort. It will not help us.